plans. Now, the Complementary Education Agency of the Ministry of Education, formerly the Non-Formal Education Division, is to roll out a new campaign aimed at eliminating illiteracy in the country ahead of the 2030 deadline set under the Sustainable Development Goal. As part of the measures, officials will head out into the communities to look for persons who have either dropped out of school or have not obtained education at all and offer them free education. Sounds interesting already. In the studio to discuss this is Priscilla Awimbe-Kusa. She's head of communications at the Complementary Education Agency, Accra Metro, and would also be joined shortly by Samuel Pencil Edubuafo, District Coordinator, Accra Metro Office. I'm grateful that you were able to make it to the studio. Let's start with what has occasioned this.
Okay, good afternoon to your viewers. The ministry realized that when it comes to education, the informal sector is lacking out. So they decided to add an extra tax to the non-formal education, now the Complementary Education Agency, for us to take the mandate of making sure that the non-literate youth or children of school-going age between the ages of 6 to SHS level will get education through the complementary basic education.
You intend to go all out to look for people who do not have, who are partly educated or not educated at all, and give them the free education. But how do you intend to achieve this? Are you going to be roaming on the streets and calling people? How do you intend to go about this?
Okay, our division has something we call the community entry system, where we enter the communities and talk to the opinion leaders. So we'll do it together with the opinion leaders, the assembly members, the chiefs, and all the people who matter in the community, for them to help us identify these people, to be able to roll them in our program.
And so have you started consultations with these opinion leaders and chiefs already? What has been their response to this program?
Okay, yes, we have. And the response has been very positive. We've started identifying those who have not been to school at all and are of school-going age, and those who have been dropped out from the formal school.
Okay, so let's look at when you intend to do this, and then let's also look at where and how you're going to dividing the program. For instance, are you going to do region by region, constituency by constituency, district by district? I mean, how are you going to demarcate the exercise?
Okay, we are going to do it all over the country. Non-formal education, now the Complementary Education Agency, is everywhere in the country. So every district has been tasked to make sure that they enter into the community and engage the leaders to be able to identify them.
Go ahead.
To be able to identify them and get them educated, so that in future, those who are supposed to join the mainstream school will be taken back to GES for them to take care of their needs. And those who are supposed to fall under what we now call the JHS remedials will also be taken through for them to join their colleagues to write the basic education certificate examination.
Let's look at your target areas. I'm looking at age brackets first. I'm looking at what level you want to target. What are your target areas?
Okay, we are looking at kindergarten to SHS.
Okay.
Yes.
Kindergarten to SHS. When are you starting this?
Next month, that's October. And it's a 9-month cycle for every level. We have 3 levels. That's level 1, level 2, level 3. So when we take them through for the 9 months process, after we assess them to see the level in which they fit into, and we push them to GS. So we are liaising with GS. We are not going to do it alone. And it is their curriculum we are using.
Okay. Where are you going to start from? You must have priority areas, because if you're talking about education, you know that certainly some regions are far ahead than others. So which are your priority areas?
Okay. The rural areas, and even in Accra, we have some areas that people are lacking behind. So I am for the AMA district, and we've started, so it's all over.
All right, Prinsila Awimbe. So once you do this 9 months target, what do you intend to achieve at the end of the day? What's the objective, the goal at the end of the 9 months?
Okay, the goal is to equip them to be able to fit into any level they are supposed to be in. As I said earlier on, we have 3 levels. So when we go into the community, we assess the learners we get and get to know where they fall short, whether they are SHS dropout, JHS dropout, then we know where to place them and take them through the program.
So initially you told me that you've had engagement with stake opinion leaders, yes, chiefs who are interested in this, but have you also had the opportunity to engage some of the learners you're talking about?
Yes, so far we've had the opportunity to engage some of the learners.
And you've identified those who need help?
Yes, please.
How many so far?
Okay, I don't have the figure now, okay, but we've been able to identify them. Okay. And we are still on it.
So you intend to start with how many, or you are just going all out, I mean, across the country? You should have a plan.
Yes, we are going all out across the country.
So next month when you start, what date exactly?
Okay, the date, just from the 1st of October.
1st of October, when you start, we should see your representatives in all 16 regions?
Yes.
That's what's going to happen?
Yes, that's what is going to happen.
All right. We wish you all the best. I'll see you embark on this one. Priscilla Awimbe Kusa, she's head of communications, complementary education agency, Accra Metro, who's been having this wonderful conversation with us.